Hello, esteemed guests, members, and the audience. I'm Mimansa from Panda Foundation, going to represent Asexuality The Invisible Orientation with my partner, Rachita. The moment has come to unfold the realms of the situation in India before getting past the catastrophe. Sex can be a weapon, a dagger that can leave wounds which shall never fully heal. Here comes the bell curve notion of asexuality. As we can see in the bell curve of the asexuality notion, the average person has a desire to indulge in sexual activity by a percentage of 34, which is a way more than that of an asexual person or a gray sexual or a hypersexual person that normally ranges to 2%. And it pushes or it places the asexual or gray sexual person in a pretty parlous position in our stigmatic society. Asexuality in India. In India, asexuality implies only 3 stuffs: mental illness, religious celibacy, and abstinence. In India, marriage and reproduction has always been the milestones, and by the Special Marriage Act of India, which provides the right to sexual relations at marriage, is a pretty blow to the asexuals. The mention of sex implies breakout of a pandemonium, whereas asexuals are looked down upon. Here shows this picture. So asexuality is not based on a monochromatic group. It's pretty much diversified since the beginning and for always. As the ACE umbrella shows, there are various asexual types. So we must know how to differentiate between a desire and an attraction and a romance and the sexual orientation. So the time has come. We should know how to burst the myths, break the shackles, and move towards reality and act towards it. In reality, asexuals experience the full range of romantic emotions. It's just devoid of a sexual component. Asexuality is not a phase, and not just because of some past traumas or negative experiences that tend not to be in a sexual relationship. And yes, the desire to masturbate is potentially available to them. So as the picture is from 1973, so we might be knowing that it's been 50 years, but our people have been sectionized, partitioned, and have been put in barriers due to such prejudices. We should end the discrimination now. We should keep our minds broadened to have an open acceptance towards gender, sexual, or asexual beings. Now, I would like to hand over our presentations to my partner, Rachita.
Greetings to respected panel members, guest speakers, and everybody present here. I am Rachita and I shall take on the presentation from here. So, talking of asexual invisibility, asexuals have been quite the disadvantaged group as they are misconceptualized and thus desire to join the LGBTQ community for recognition and visibility. This in turn encourages various kinds of action in the form of LGBT politics in online spaces, activism, and identity politics. Asexuality India, Indian ACEs, and ACE Indians are some of the communities in India promoting and supporting asexuality. Talking of disability and asexuality, there is a popular stigma in Asia that relates asexuality to disability. This finds roots in the science of eugenics, where there have been instances of involuntary sterilization among the disabled people. While there is an assumed correlation between neurodivergence and asexuality, the hypothesis stands false because feeling disgusted by the thought of sex is a very well defined characteristic trait, and neurodiverse people obviously do not fall under that tag. The most important, talking about mental health. Discovering one's asexual orientation can be a big transitional phase. It can be a roller coaster ride emotionally, physically, and mentally. And at that time, support from family and society is the most important. Failing which, people suffer from various episodes of depression, anxiety, substance abuse, isolation, exclusion, and suicidal tendencies. Now, this obviously is a multidimensional topic. The Chhattisgarh High Court, in the very recent judgment, passed that sexual act with wife is not marital rape, even if it is with force. This gets us to imagine how pathetic the condition might be for asexuals and how domestic violence and assault might be a daily occurrence for them for denying sex. This further exacerbates their concept of living in the shadows. Adding further about parenthood in asexuals, the procedure and the journey to parenthood for asexuals can be uh, beset with many difficulties. The first being there is no suitable coping mechanism in India for single parents to bear the burden of single parenthood emotionally, mentally, and financially. There has been a lack of education and sympathy for the same. There has been very less awareness about the laws pertaining to adoption in India. People are not aware. And that is the saddest part of how the society views marriage as the only confirmation or the only prerequisite for parenthood. Summing up the various problems, we come to solutions. The need of the hour in India is to enhance social visibility of the asexuals via media, print and electronic both. Legal acknowledgement that they have to be recognized by law. There has to be activist groups, communities to cater to the needs of asexuals. And there must be more available content about asexuality, both on the internet as well as in books. This brings me to the end of the presentation. On this note, it is Rachita Priyadarshini from Panda Foundation signing off. Thank you everybody for your patience here.